The way to catch a knuckleball is to wait until it stops rolling and then pick it up. I signed a very modest $3,000 bonus with the Braves in Milwaukee. And my old man didn't have that kind of money to put out. I hit a grand slam off Ron Herbal, and when his manager Herman Franks came out to get him, he was bringing Herbal's suitcase. I knew when my career was over. In 1965, my baseball card came out with no picture. Anybody with ability can play in the big leagues. But to be able to trick people year in and year out the way I did. I hope the fans have enjoyed listening as much as I've enjoyed doing the games. I don't ever go to the park where I don't have a good day. I don't like losing. But I don't think I ever go to the park where I have a bad day. I don't think once. When I came up to bat with 3 men on and 2 outs in the ninth, I looked in the other team's dugout and they were already in street clothes. Phil Niekro and his brother were pitching against each other in Atlanta. Their parents were sitting right behind home plate. I saw their folks more that day than they did the whole weekend. If a guy hits 300 every year, what does he have to look forward to? I always tried to stay around 190 with 3 or 4 RBI. And I tried to get them all in September. That way, I always had something to talk about during the winter. In 1962, I was named Minor League Player of the Year. It was my second season in the bigs. You know, I was once named Minor League Player of the Year. Unfortunately, I had been in the majors for 2 years at the time. I think my top salary was maybe in 1966. I made $17,000 and 11 of that came from selling other players' equipment. Sure, women sports writers look when they're in the clubhouse. Read their stories. How else do you explain a capital letter in the middle of a word? Let's face it, umpiring is not an easy or happy way to make a living. In the abuse they suffer and the pay they get for it, you see an imbalance that can only be explained by their need to stay close to a game they can't resist. When I looked at the third base coach, he turned his back on me. Career highlights? I had 2. I got an intentional walk from Sandy Koufax, and I got out of a rundown against the Mets. We were on for 6 years. We were in syndication for a while. It had its run. I still see the people from Mr. Belvedere, too. We stay in touch. Before broadcasting for 50-some years, I did TV, played 10 years in the big leagues, won a world championship, and played a big part in that, too, letting the Cardinals inject me with. Hepatitis takes a big man to do that. I set records that will never be equaled. In fact, I hope 90% of them don't even get printed. After getting out of the service and going into baseball, I never wanted to do anything else. People have asked my ass a lot, as I didn't hit a lot, how long a dozen bats would last me. Depending on the weight and model I was using, at that time, I would say 8 to 10 cookouts. I did stand up, weird and ignorant stuff about my career, anything for a laugh. On TV, the people can see it. On radio, you've got to create it. I spent 3 of the best years of my life in 10th grade. I used to soak my mitts in a bucket of water for about 2 days. Then I'd put a couple of baseballs in the pocket and wrap it up with a rubber band. Today you don't have to do that, because catcher's mitts are more like first baseman's gloves. I have been playing for a while, and I asked Louisville Slugger to send me a dozen flame-treated bats. But when I got it, I realized they had sent me a box of ashes. Not bragging by any means, but I could have done a lot of our stuff as far as working in films go and working in television. I had chances to do that stuff, but I like baseball. I really do. I make fun of situations and try and find the humor in things, but it's never at the expense of the other guy. Baseball hasn't forgotten me. I go to a lot of old-timers games, and I haven't lost a thing. I sit in the bullpen and let people throw things at me, just like old times. I had a great shoe contract and contract with a company who paid me a lot of money never to be seen using their stuff. I didn't get a lot of awards as a player, but they did have a day off for me once in Philly. Any teammate of mine that had a kid and a boy that was capable of playing baseball, I think I set a terrific example of don't do this and don't do that. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of. Sporting goods companies pay me not to endorse their products. I just grew the hair on my back. Facial hair just wasn't appealing to me. I liked it on my back, though. I had slumps that lasted into the winter. How do you catch a knuckleball? You wait until it stops rolling, then go pick it up. I was acting when I was playing baseball. Where would I be without baseball? Who am I without baseball? You throw batting practice, you warm up pitchers, you sit and cheer. You do whatever you have to do to stay on the team.